Have you ever wondered if the ancient prophecies hold secrets about our future? Today, we're going to unravel the mysteries of these ancient predictions. Could they hold warnings for our time? Welcome, everyone. Today, we're embarking on a fascinating journey back in time. Have you ever heard about ancient prophecies and wondered what secrets they might hold? These mysterious predictions have captured the human imagination for centuries. But what exactly are ancient prophecies? Let's dive in and explore. Throughout history, every culture has had its seers, prophets, and mystics. These were the people who claimed to have a special connection to the divine or the supernatural. They would make predictions about the future, some of them hopeful, some of them downright terrifying. Take, for example, Nostradamus, a name you've probably heard. He was a French astrologer from the 1500s who wrote hundreds of quatrains. These are like short, four-line poems filled with predictions. People have been trying to decode his words for centuries, believing he foresaw some of history's biggest events. But it's not just about Nostradamus. There are countless other ancient prophecies from all over the world. The Mayans, known for their advanced astronomy, had a calendar that many interpreted as predicting the end of the world in 2012. Then there are the prophecies in religious texts like the Bible, which some believe predict events that are yet to come. In this video, we're going to take a closer look at these ancient predictions. We'll try to understand what they really said and see how they've been interpreted over the years. Were these prophecies just guesses, or did these ancient seers know something we don't? So, get ready to step into the world of mystery and intrigue as we uncover the truths behind these ancient prophecies. Are they mere tales from the past, or do they hold warnings for our time? Let's find out together. Famous prophecies and their interpretations. Let's dive into some of the most famous and intriguing ancient prophecies and see what they might tell us. We're not just talking about random guesses. These are predictions that have stood the test of time and sparked endless debates and interpretations. First up, Nostradamus. This French astrologer's quatrains, written in the 16th century, are still hot topics today. People have pored over his cryptic verses, trying to link them to major historical events. Some believe he predicted the Great Fire of London, the rise of Napoleon, and even the two world wars. His writings are complex, filled with metaphorical and symbolic language, making them open to countless interpretations. But the big question remains, was Nostradamus really predicting the future, or are we just seeing connections where there aren't any? Moving on, let's talk about the Mayan calendar. This Mesoamerican civilization was known for its sophisticated astronomical and calendrical systems. The end of their long count calendar in 2012 caused quite a stir. Many interpreted this as a prophecy of the world's end. But did the Mayans really predict an apocalypse, or is this a misinterpretation of their calendrical cycles? Archaeologists and Mayan scholars argue that for the Mayans, this was simply the end of a cycle, not the world. We also can't forget the biblical prophecies. The book of Revelation, for instance, is filled with symbolic and often bewildering visions of the end times. These passages have been interpreted in numerous ways over the centuries. Some see them as allegories. Others believe they predict actual events in the coming of the apocalypse. The imagery in Revelation, like the four horsemen, the seven seals, and the beast, has captured imaginations and fueled many a debate. But interpreting these visions is no easy task. They're deeply rooted in the cultural and historical context of their time. Then there's Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet. In the early 20th century, Cayce made thousands of predictions while in a trance-like state. He talked about future technological advancements, changes in the Earth's surface, and even potential medical breakthroughs. Some of his predictions seem to have come true, while others are still waiting to unfold. Cayce's work blurs the line between prophecy and psychic reading, leaving us wondering about the source of his visions. So, what do all these prophecies have in common? They're open to interpretation, heavily influenced by the times they were made in, and often vague enough to be linked to a variety of events. This vagueness is both the appeal and the frustration of ancient prophecies. It allows us to apply them to different times and events, but it also makes it hard to definitively say whether any of them have truly come to pass. As we explore these ancient predictions, we find ourselves asking, are we interpreting these prophecies based on our own fears and hopes for the future? Do they hold any real predictive power, or are they simply reflections of the human desire to know the unknown? In the next few minutes, let's keep these questions in mind as we delve deeper into the world of ancient prophecies. Maybe, just maybe, we'll find some clues to understanding not only the past but also our present and future. Historical context of these prophecies. As we explore these ancient prophecies, it's crucial to understand the times and cultures they came from. Context is everything. These predictions weren't made in a vacuum. They were deeply influenced by the worldviews, events, and beliefs of their times. Let's start with Nostradamus. He lived in 16th century France, a time of great turmoil and change. Europe was in the throes of religious conflicts, political upheavals, and the Renaissance. This era was rife with superstition, plagues, and war. It's important to realize that Nostradamus's quatrains were written against this backdrop. His work might reflect the anxieties and hopes of a society grappling with rapid change and uncertainty. Now, let's shift to the Mayan civilization. The Mayans were advanced in many ways, especially in astronomy and mathematics. Their calendar, which some interpreted as predicting the end of the world in 2012, was actually a sophisticated timekeeping system. It's essential to understand that for the Mayans, time was cyclical. The end of their calendar didn't imply an apocalypse, but rather the end of a cycle and the start of a new one. Their worldview was deeply connected to nature and the cosmos, very different from how we perceive time today. The biblical prophecies, particularly those in the book of Revelation, were also a product of their time. Written during a period of persecution and turmoil for early Christians, these visions could be seen as metaphors for hope and triumph over adversity. The vivid and symbolic language used in these texts reflects the cultural and historical realities of that era. It's a glimpse into how people of that time viewed the world and their place in it. And when it comes to Edgar Cayce, his early 20th century American background played a role in his readings. This was a time when spiritualism and exploration of the paranormal were gaining popularity. Cayce's work was influenced by the ideas and beliefs prevalent in his society, a society fascinated by the unknown and unseen. In summary, to truly understand these ancient prophecies, we must look at them through the lens of their historical contexts. Each prophecy was a reflection of its time, shaped by the events, beliefs, and knowledge of the era. They tell us as much about the societies that produce them as they do about the future. By appreciating this context, we can gain deeper insights into these mysterious and captivating predictions. Accuracy of ancient prophecies. Let's now turn our attention to a pivotal question. Have any of these ancient prophecies actually come true? It's one thing to be intrigued by their mystery, but it's another to scrutinize their accuracy. Are these prophecies mere coincidences, or did they somehow tap into a deeper understanding of the future? Delving into Nostradamus's quatrains, we find that his predictions are often cited after major events have occurred. For instance, some believe he predicted the rise of Hitler and the Second World War. His verses mention a Hister from the north, which many have linked to Hitler. But skeptics argue that this is a stretch and that Nostradamus's writings are so vague they could be interpreted in countless ways. It raises the question, are we simply retrofitting his prophecies to match historical events? Then there's the Mayan calendar and the 2012 phenomenon. As the date approached, many speculated about catastrophic events ending the world. However, 2012 came and went without incident. This misinterpretation highlights how we often project our own fears and anxieties onto these ancient texts. In reality, for the Mayans, it was the end of a cycle, not an apocalypse. Biblical prophecies, especially from the book of Revelation, have been interpreted and reinterpreted over the centuries. Events like natural disasters, wars, and political changes have often been seen as fulfillments of these prophecies. But again, the symbolic and metaphorical language of these texts makes them open to various interpretations. It's a complex task to link them directly to specific historical events. As for Edgar Cayce, some of his predictions about technological advancements and medical breakthroughs have been surprisingly accurate. For instance, he spoke about the use of blood as a diagnostic tool, which mirrors modern medical practices. Yet, not all of his predictions have come to pass, leaving us to wonder about the nature of his foresight. In assessing the accuracy of these ancient prophecies, we find ourselves in a realm of ambiguity. While some predictions seem eerily accurate, others are broad enough to fit a range of events, or they haven't come true at all. This ambiguity is part of what keeps the allure of ancient prophecies alive. Are they glimpses into the future, or are they reflections of the human tendency to find patterns and meaning even where none may exist? As we continue to explore, It's important to keep an open mind while also applying a critical eye. The study of these prophecies isn't just about verifying predictions, it's about understanding the human fascination with the future and our enduring quest to make sense of the unknown. Prophecies and modern interpretations. In this part of our journey, we turn to how ancient prophecies are viewed through the lens of today's world. Modern interpretations of these age-old predictions can be quite different from their original contexts. It's fascinating to see how we, in the present day, apply our own perspectives to these ancient texts. Let's start with the reinterpretation of Nostradamus's quatrains in the modern era. His cryptic and vague verses have been linked to everything from the moon landing to the 9/11 attacks. But it's crucial to ask, are we reading too much into his words based on current events and our contemporary worldview? Many argue that the interpretations are often stretched to fit modern narratives, a phenomenon known as retroactive clairvoyance, where predictions are made to fit after the fact. Similarly, the Mayan calendar prediction for 2012 saw a surge in various theories, from spiritual awakenings to global catastrophes. In the modern context, these interpretations reflected contemporary anxieties about the world, environmental concerns, political unrest, and more. This shows how we often use ancient prophecies as a canvas to project our current fears and hopes. The biblical prophecies, too, have seen various modern interpretations. Some view these texts as allegorical, while others believe they foretell actual future events. With every significant global event, be it wars, natural disasters, or pandemics, there are new interpretations of these prophecies. It highlights our tendency to look for signs and patterns that align with our current experiences and beliefs. Edgar Cayce's prophecies have also been reinterpreted in light of modern developments. His predictions about health, technology, and global changes are often revisited with new insights, reflecting how our advancements influence our understanding of his words. What's clear is that our modern interpretations of these ancient prophecies are as much about us as they are about the prophecies themselves. They reveal our collective hopes, fears, and the human desire to find meaning in uncertainty. It's a reminder that while we look to the past for answers, we often interpret it through the lens of our present. As we continue to explore these ancient predictions, let's keep in mind the fluid nature of interpretation. The way we understand these prophecies today might be different from how they were understood in the past and how they'll be interpreted in the future. It's a fascinating interplay between time, belief, and the ever-evolving human perspective, the psychology behind belief in prophecies. As we delve deeper into the world of ancient prophecies, it's important to pause and consider why these predictions have such a strong hold on us. What is it about human nature that draws us to these mysterious and often enigmatic forecasts? The answer lies in the fascinating realm of psychology. First, let's talk about our innate desire for knowledge and certainty about the future. It's natural for humans to want to know what lies ahead. This desire stems from our basic instinct to prepare for and control our environment. Prophecies, in this sense, offer a glimpse into the unknown, fulfilling our deep-seated need for foresight and assurance, even if that glimpse is shrouded in mystery. Another psychological factor is the appeal of solving puzzles and finding patterns. Our brains are wired to look for connections and meanings, even where there might be none. This tendency, known as apophenia, is what often leads us to interpret vague prophecies as being relevant to specific events. We find satisfaction in linking the dots and making sense of what initially seems inscrutable. Then there's the aspect of confirmation bias. This is our tendency to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs and ignore information that contradicts them. When it comes to prophecies, we often highlight the predictions that seem accurate while overlooking the ones that don't pan out. This selective attention reinforces our belief in the accuracy of these prophecies. We also cannot overlook the role of cultural and social influences. Throughout history, prophecies have been a part of our collective storytelling. They are embedded in our religions, folklore, and literature, influencing our worldview and shaping our collective consciousness. Lastly, there's the aspect of hope and fear. Prophecies often talk about significant changes or pivotal events. For some, these predictions offer hope for a better future or justice in the world. For others, they evoke fear of impending doom or cataclysmic changes. These strong emotional connections make prophecies particularly compelling and hard to dismiss. In summary, our fascination with ancient prophecies is a complex mix of psychological, cultural, and emotional factors. It's about more than just curiosity. It reflects our deepest desires, fears, and the fundamental ways we make sense of the world around us. As we explore these ancient texts, it's worthwhile to reflect on what our interpretations say about us as individuals and as a society. Potential implications for today's world. As we near the end of our exploration of ancient prophecies, let's ponder their relevance and implications for our world today. It's intriguing to think about how these age-old predictions might resonate with the issues and challenges we face in the modern era. Firstly, many ancient prophecies speak to universal themes: war, peace, natural disasters, and societal upheaval. Despite being centuries old, these themes remain pertinent. In a world grappling with climate change, political tensions, and global pandemics, some might find these prophecies eerily reflective of current events. It prompts us to ask, are these ancient texts warning us about the cyclical nature of human history and the recurring challenges we face? Furthermore, these prophecies often serve as a catalyst for reflection and change. They can inspire us to look critically at our actions and their impact on the future. For instance, predictions about environmental catastrophes might encourage us to think more seriously about our relationship with nature and the need for sustainable living. There's also a social and cultural aspect to consider. In times of uncertainty, people often turn to these prophecies for guidance or solace. They become a part of our collective narrative, shaping how we interpret and respond to global events. This shared belief in ancient predictions can foster a sense of community and common purpose, albeit sometimes leading to collective anxiety. On the flip side, it's crucial to approach these prophecies with a critical mind. While they can offer valuable insights, there's a risk of attributing too much significance to them, leading to fatalism or unwarranted fear. It's important to balance our fascination with these ancient texts with rational thought and evidence-based understanding. Lastly, exploring these prophecies invites us to consider the timeless nature of human inquiry and our perpetual quest to understand our place in the universe. They remind us that, across ages, humans have always sought to unravel the mysteries of existence and the future. This enduring curiosity is a testament to our desire to learn, grow, and evolve as a civilization. In conclusion, the potential implications of ancient prophecies for today's world are multifaceted. They are mirrors reflecting our current concerns, tools for introspection and societal critique, and bridges connecting us to the wisdom and wonder of our ancestors. As we navigate our way through the complexities of the modern world, these ancient predictions offer a unique lens through which to view our journey. As we conclude our journey through the mysterious and captivating world of ancient prophecies, it's time to reflect on what we've uncovered. We've traveled through history, examining the words of seers and mystics, and we've explored how these ancient predictions resonate with our modern world. But what have we really learned from this exploration? Firstly, we've seen that ancient prophecies are much more than mere predictions. They are windows into the past, offering us glimpses into the minds and societies of our ancestors. Through their words, we can understand their hopes, fears, and the mysteries that surrounded them. We've also realized that these prophecies are not just historical artifacts. They have a living presence in our contemporary world. They continue to fascinate us, to inspire debate, and to provoke thought. Whether they foretell the future or simply reflect the human condition, their allure remains undiminished. Importantly, this exploration has shown us the power of human belief and interpretation. How we understand and respond to these prophecies tells us a lot about ourselves, our hopes, our fears, and our desire to find meaning in a complex world. But perhaps the most profound lesson is the reminder that the future is not set in stone. While we may look to the past for guidance, it's our actions in the present that shape what's to come. Ancient prophecies, with all their mystery and intrigue, encourage us to be mindful architects of our own destiny. So, as we bid farewell to the ancient seers and their enigmatic visions, let's carry forward the curiosity and wisdom they inspire. In a world that's constantly changing, let's keep seeking understanding, keep questioning the unknown, and most importantly, keep shaping a future that reflects our highest hopes and aspirations. Thank you for joining me on this fascinating journey into the world of ancient prophecies. May it inspire you to look at the past with wonder, the present with purpose, and the future with hope. If you found this exploration into ancient prophecies intriguing, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history's mysteries. Have your own thoughts on these ancient predictions? Drop a comment below and let's keep the conversation going.